Some diddles. J-Dog back and some more goddamn questions. Let's get them fucking shovels out. We're digging on the video. Fucking worst, most insufferable metal fan base. Band that you just want to go spraying, spraying and blazing on. Which one is it? Devils and Sea, 151 comments, 1.3K views. It got fucking people talking and watching on this one, goddammit. All the way to the bottom. Let's just first get this first question mark. My stupid man suit. Yo, J-Dog, you ever get into smoking weed? Nope. And what do you think of Stoner Doom? I hate both of them pretty much equally. Smoking weed and Stoner Doom. It's fucking, to me, I don't know. It's just, weed's just a fucking, just lazy, stupid man's drug, in my book. Don't give a fuck if you do it. I know that's going to probably offend 99.9% of the people that watch this, because literally every single person I know smokes weed but me. But I don't get it personally. If I was to do any type of rec drugs, I'd prefer fucking cocaine or Adderall or something that's going to give you energy and make you fucking hyped up, not this. Yeah, man. Shit, now I got the munchies. Let's get some fucking fat boy shit going on. Yeah, I mean that's just count me out of that. Why would I don't see what's pleasure about that. Now, if you have a hard time sleeping or something, if it calms you down and helps you sleep, then it makes sense. Outside of that, because I've tried it, I'm like, this shit sucks. So not a fan, but it seems like I'm the oddball out, because everybody and their mom fucking loves that shit. Don't know how. I think it smells like ass too, to be honest with you. Sewer Bomb, J-Dog question. Pat O'Brien said he only plays Flying V guitars because it's as metal as you can get. Would you agree with that said statement? Does it shape, help slash complement the brutality of the music? I know nothing about guitars, to be honest with you, so wrong guy to ask. It's come Pat O'Brien can school me on guitars, so whatever he says, I would say is gonna be more accurate than me. I just like the music, but as far as all the instruments, the brands and shit like that, I literally know fuck all, fucking nothing. You may as well just start talking Japanese to me. I'm gonna understand it just as well. Manage Pro, J-Dog, please answer this query. Sure will, rah. Sting versus Undertaker. Electrified barbed wire cage. Who you got? I'd have to go Undertaker all day, every day. Granted, I haven't seen, both guys even still wrestle anymore? But I liked Undertaker back when I was a kid, you know what I mean? And I'd have to go with him. Kmart got J-Dog. Can you think of any songs with titles that ever introduced you to movies, like Mortician, Three on a Meat Hook, for example? Three on a Meat Hook, man, perfect fucking T for the goddamn questions, right? You know what? Vast majority of the Mortician songs, almost like literally like 99% of them, I've never even seen the movies. I was kind of interested. Some of them, because Craig Reaper, he's seen way more fucking horror movies than I have. He likes way more of that stuff. His taste in movies is this, like a lot of the 70s horror movies. And for me, I think 95% of that shit's boring as fuck. You know what I mean? We don't agree on movies for the most part at all. But ones I would mention, he even said, like, for example, the song Blood Craving, first song off this goddamn album. What is that? Fucking Something Stranger or something. He said that I always wanted to see it because I thought that intro was cool. And then they used it again on the song Stab on, it's basically part two to Blood Craving, but it's the second half of the phone call on the song Stab on Chainsaw Dismemberment. I always want to see that movie. He's crazy. Like, oh, dude, don't even bother. That movie sucks. He's like, literally, that scene is like 5 minutes in the movie. He's like, the rest, he's just a mentalist too. He's like, it's dumb as fuck. He's like, that's the only decent part of the movie was that fucking scene. So I still kind of want to see it, but I forget what it's called. Was it Call from a Stranger or some shit? But I'm sure you guys all fucking know. The only movies I've seen by Mortician for interest, I saw Henry. I remember thinking it was okay. The Shining, because they used the Shining inch on like Red Rum. House by the Cemetery, which I didn't like. But that's specifically why I watched it. But I'm like, I don't know. It was just from what I remember. Keep it calm the fuck down. It was 20 years ago when I watched it. I watched it as a teenager, specifically as a mortician. House by the Cemetery. I was disappointed because I don't know. I was expecting some spooky action in a cemetery, and it was like nothing to do with that. It was just like this monster in a basement that you saw the last 5 minutes of the movie. So I was like, all right, great. We got an hour and 25 minutes of our fucking dicks in our hands doing goddamn jack shit, and we got a monster in a basement. Nothing to do with the house by a cemetery, from what I remember. I was like, this was fucking dumb and lame. I was like, should have just been called Monster in the Basement. Fast forward fucking the first 75 minutes. You got all you need. That was my recollection to it. I've seen Fog, the use Fog of Death. which song do they use on Darkest Day of Horror for the zombie? Is it from the movie Zombie, or is it? It's one of the zombie movies. It might have been Day of the Dead, but I know whichever one it's from. When they're on the phone call, the zombies are taking over. I've seen that. Maybe one or two others, but I've never seen. But yeah, a lot of them I was curious about. One from Rabid. I drink your blood and I eat your skin. Fucking love that one. That's great. Oh, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I've seen that. So for Hacked Up for Barbecue, one of my favorite mortician songs. Song Chainsaw Dismemberment. That was on Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. That's all. Those two title tracks are definitely some of my favorite mortician songs. Zombie Apocalypse. Seen that. That was on, again, Day of the Dead. Or it wasn't Day of the Dead, but it was one of the Deads. I've seen it. Night of the Living Dead, they use that. You've seen that. So, yeah, I guess now I'm done thinking about it. Cold. I've seen more than I thought, but a lot of them I've never seen. Reanimator, I've seen that. Reanimated Dead Flesh. So, I guess I've seen more than I thought I saw. Thought it was way less than that. But Phantasm. But I did specifically for years, I wanted to see Phantasm for Mortician. I just kind of forgot about it. Tall Man looked cool. Could never find a DVD. It was me and Lindsay. We went up to the record exchange and bought the first two DVDs. So I still have them to this day. It's about 7 years ago, and it was just during Halloween time. We bought them. Watched them. Lindsay's like, "Yeah, I've seen them when I was a teenager." She's like, I need a fresher." She's like, "But I remember liking them." Me, I was like, I've never seen them." I was like, "I know the gist. I mean, Toxo Death uses tons of intros from Phantasm, but Mortician obviously used. I wouldn't say used the shit out of them, but definitely used them, right? And so I always want to see them. And I actually thoroughly enjoyed them. I think I remember liking the second one better than the first one, but I thoroughly enjoyed both. And I guess there's a third one. Reaper again told me, fuck it, that sucks. Don't bother. Which now but the more I've been thinking about the last couple of years, kind of fucking my thought process has been saying, if Reaper says it sucks, that means I'm probably going to like it. And if he says it's good, it probably means I'm not going to like it. That's usually the way it goes. So third one's probably great then. Should probably check it out, but I haven't seen it. Uh, Infernus Rex, why do people worry whose fans are more annoying? Fans of any band are annoying if they talk to me. I'm not worried. There's just a topic to talk about. People thought it was kind of funny, and certain that Devourment fan base, man. I gotta tell you that's after seeing that old Devourment video I told you devils to check out. They might be the kings. I mean, that shit was. Well, I mean, Slayer's still the kings just because it's basically a lot of guys. I don't know if they're that bad, but yeah, there's definitely some guys that bad at Slayer too. But the quantity is just way larger. If you go to see a Devourment show, I don't know how many people are going to be there, 100 people. Which I gotta say, I recently listened to the last Devourment album. I know it's kind of I'm late to the game. What was it, 2 years ago or so? It was actually Paul from Embalmment that told me we were talking about Devourment, and he's like Ruben from the first album singing. Oh, it's him. It's like that was the big thing why I didn't like some of the other. I didn't want to say I never heard an album that sucked. I'm just kind of like, just generic kind of brutal death metal, like nothing there. I was like, the first album, that's where all the character was. It was because of the vocals and the drum sound on it, specifically for Devourment and Lesson Decapitated. It made that so great. I was like, it's of this brutal genre. They're the early frontiers of that third generation death metal. I was like, but it sounded unique. First two aborted, same thing. It sounds unique. It doesn't sound like anyone. That's why I liked Molesting the Captain. Wow, this literally at the time this sounds like fucking nobody. But a big part was Ruben's vocals. So, anyways, I listened to the last one and thought it was pretty good. I don't know if it was good to where I'd want to buy a CD or just a high press LP, but what I would buy if there's a limited 100 copy color, which I'm sure there is, and you guys know, whatever the limited, if there's just like a splattered 100 copy color, kind of commemorate, I probably would buy it, an LP of it. I was like, it's definitely not no molesting, and it's kind of like, but it's good. I mean, I thought it was better than when Mike was doing the fucking vocals. So I was kind of surprised by that. But when he told me that, saw we had him in the shop. Oh fuck, I'm gonna put this on. I was like, yeah, this is pretty good. I'm gotta say, it's pretty fucking good. Adam C. Hey J Dog, what's your favorite band or bands with lyrics in other languages than English? I've been asked that several times. I don't know who my favorite would fucking be, but first ones that come to my mind, I'll just go albums, the stuff that Metal Lucifer does, because it's hit or miss, you know what I mean? Like the Heavy Metal Bulldozer, there's like 25 versions. But the Japanese versions of both, all of them, the Heavy Metal Ninja, they did I think the LP we released is half the A side. The A side's the English version, B side's the Japanese version. That shit was fucking great. I haven't heard anything by Metal Lucifer I don't like, but I specifically love the first album by Makatazo. I like the nothing stinks, but the first two is what I own and know. But the first one is specifically like the second one's really good too, and I know and own it. But the first one, that's a fucking great grindcore record. So I probably off the top of my head, like favorite things not English, it would probably be the first Makatazo. If I really went through my collection and dug and reminded myself, maybe there's something in there I'm completely forgetting. I was like, oh, one of my favorite all-time favorite records ever, because that does happen. I turn off the camera, I'm like, oh, how the fuck did I? It'll be something stupid too, like Possessed Seven Churches or something on the top. I was like, how did I think of that? Like somebody was talking about two album bands, like who's a great band that just only did two albums, and like I forgot to mention even Empatego, or somebody asked about Gorgrind, I forgot to mention Empatego. I was like, how the fuck do you forget about that? Like so goddamn obvious. Like I remember it as a camera. It's funny. A lot of people put in the comments too. How the fuck did you not mention Empatego? I was like, oh, well, yeah, it's because I'm going off the cuff. Like I said, I don't proofread this shit at all. I just somewhat scroll to see the question marks. That's it. Because I don't want to spend any more goddamn time than I have to doing the videos because I'm pressed for time on a daily basis. Try to get as much done in a day as possible. Go man, I'm going to say the new trendy Mortician fans are they the worst. Also, did you hear the new Bloodstorm phenomenal record? I have not listened to the new Bloodstorm record, but I definitely been meaning to. Um, as far as the new Mortician fans, I got to disagree with that because I was at the like I said in Cleveland show, both shows. It was a 2-day show, Saturday and Sunday, back to back, at the same venue. Mortician played. There was nobody ultra annoying, but just me kind of hanging out. It was kind of like a mini fest, to be honest with you. The shows were like basically all day long. Granted, I got there later. I got there like I think Sunday I got there like 6 o'clock. Saturday I got there probably around 7 or 8 o'clock at night. Maybe even later, maybe 8:39. But it was going on since like 2 p.m. But it was full house, people hanging out and just kind of sitting around drinking, talking the devils there and shit like that. There was a couple of dudes I talked to, a couple of chicks, just sitting around just shooting the shit, right? And there was definitely a lot of first time I'm seeing Morticians, first time I'm seeing Mortician. But again, it's kind of like even to you go, man. I mean, somebody if you weren't even alive, or I think you were alive, but actually you might not have been alive for the first couple times I seen Mortician, or the times you were, you're not going to go. What was a fucking little baby pass by in the mouth, fucking seeing Mortician? No. So it's like if it was like your first time, I'm not like dog. And then there was one chick, she said, "Yes, my first time seeing him." And I think I asked her how old she is. She's like, "I'm 25." Oh, well, that makes sense. You know what I mean? That's not her fault. It's like I'm more metal than her because I was born earlier. Like that's a lot of the older guys that they don't. No one's ever actually said that, but it's like you do realize again, Hellhammer much better than Apocalypse Race. It's like why just because you're born chronologically fucking first? That's just luck of the goddamn draw. You're just a lot of that's just luck. I mean, fucking it doesn't make you more goddamn metal. So yeah, of course you got in beforehand and et cetera, et cetera. So, but you got to start somewhere. So that was the only kind of thing I noticed in the Mortician show was like just kind of just newbies, and there's nothing wrong with newbies. You got to start sometimes. You know what I mean? It's one thing if you're walking around thinking like talking like you know it all, heard it all, seen it all, have it all, and yeah, you only been in this 2 years. Okay, different fucking story. But I didn't get that vibe there. So I just know I didn't really, to be completely honest with you, I didn't see anybody at the show that was ultra annoying. Now, there's definitely, you see people, you're like, oh, of course, the composers, like, oh, this person won't be listening 3 years from now. Oh, this chick's fucking boyfriend dragged her out here, or look at this fucking dude. He's never heard Mortician in his life. There's some one-offs here and there. That's literally every single show I've been going to since fucking 1998 when I started going to shows. I've never been to a show that I haven't seen at least one case of that. So, but as far as stand out was ultra annoying crowd, I didn't think so at all, to be honest with you. Not at all, actually. So, goddamn question mark. Devils, fuck that. Walter White, I saw the same Mortician Skinless tour in '99 in Maryland, and it was the same thing. 30 to 50 people tops. Got that right, bro. Like I said, in '99 when I saw him, there was 30 people in the fucking building tops. That's fucking. I'm telling you, that's Mitch the Jerk, owner of the building. Fucking the hot bartender, the goddamn janitor, the goddamn sound guy, the fucking band's playing. The J-Dog, Eric and Chase stand next to him. Zach Attack there, Jamie. I'm talking every motherfucker standing in there with a fucking heartbeat. 30 people max. So yeah, 50 maybe in Maryland. So yeah. But 2-3 weeks ago, see a mortician. Packed to the gills, which is cool. It's just funny. That's all. I'm not mad about it. I'm not happy about it. I'm completely indifferent. It's kind of good for them. Glad to see the guys making some money off the it because I've been a mortician fan since I was like 13, 14 years old. Well, for sure 14 because I was 14 in 99. That's when I seen them. So I definitely was listening to them by then. I'd have been listening to them for at least a year. So 13 years old. So most of my life, 37 now, 20. I've been listening to them for 24 goddamn fucking years. And they've always been one of my favorite bands. So yeah, good for them. It's just funny. That's all. AG Parabellum. J-Dog, any bands you love or at least really, really like based solely on one album, despite them making some other stuff you don't care for? Yeah, there definitely is. And that really, really like too. Who would be a fucking prime goddamn example? Goddamn, there's probably 1,000 bands off the top of my head that I could probably think of that I don't know why I'm drawing a blank. That the first album's great, rest fucking sucks, right? I'm not talking about they only did one album like say Repulsion. I'm talking about like maybe they did 5 albums. Honestly, kind of in tune. Um, I do like Clandestine, but it took me a while to get into it. So for a while there, it was Left Hand Path only in the demos, and I love fucking Left Hand Path. Fucking love it. And the rest, I'm not going to go as far as saying it sucks, but I definitely, I personally don't like it at all, to be honest with you. Unleashed, there you go. I didn't like anything else by Unleashed. I've been told to recheck the second album and shit. The biggest turnoff whenever I heard, I know it was definitely by the third album, maybe not, but I'm pretty sure he was by the second album, was Johnny's vocals. I'm like, what the fuck? I mean, this guy fucking just start taking some estrogen pills and fucking lack his testosterone because goddamn the deepening of the voice or whatever was going because it literally sounded wimpy. His voice is sick as fuck on the demos, and the first album sounds like nobody. He still had the same style, but I'm like, this motherfucker's out of gas. I mean, what the fuck? That didn't take long at all. That was the biggest turn. I never heard an Unleashed album where I'm like, damn, these songs stink, man. Oh, God, chug a lug a fucking homeboy, turn that cap sideways. Now, if they do, I just haven't heard them. I'm just saying, I haven't listened to every Unleashed album. I never heard one that was like that. It was all decent music with a wimpy as piss fucking vocals as appears that we're doing, but it's still Johnny singing. But what happened, Brown? And people calling out Chris Barnes and shit like that, but what about John? I gotta say, too, my biggest disappointment is they were like Hell's Headbangers, whatever year Unleashed played, it's 2016, 17, 15, somewhere in that era. Whatever the year, which one of those years Unleashed played. We vended. I didn't get to watch them, but the stage that they played on was right behind our tent, so I could hear it crystal fucking clear. Unleashed played. Literally, I did not even realize it was Unleashed till about 5 songs in. Had no fucking clue when they were playing. I'm like, man, who's this kind of annoying thrash sounding band? And specifically the vocals I thought were just kind of annoying and just nails on a chalkboard. And then I think either he said, we're Unleashed, or maybe they did a song off Where No Life Dwells, and I finally like Violent Ecstasy or something, and I recognized it. So, this is Unleashed? Holy fuck! And then I was like, oh, yeah, that is kind of piss-ass wimpy Johnny on vocals when you kind of break it down. And I'm like, this is even worse live. So Unleashed, yeah, I mean, because I love Where No Life Dwells. That's a fucking 10 masterpiece. The demos were fucking great, too. Got a fucking bootleg double LP demo LP, too. Came out years ago. Fucking awesome. See if you can fucking eBay that one, motherfuckers. Up your ass right here, right now, goddammit. But, yeah, so Unleashed, in tune for a while, but Clandestine did grow on me. Grave, I only like the 2 albums and love the demos. Fuck, who else is there? Devils, who do I talk about? I know I like only one album by the first album. Well, it doesn't have to be the first album, but it's usually the way it goes, right? First album's good, the rest fucking sucks. Yeah, those would be the first 2 that are popping in my mind. So if you got any ones, put them in there. Yeah, who's an album that you really like? Not you just like it, you love it, because I love fucking the first Unleashed, and I love Left Hand Path. Put in there. Who's a band that, you love it, the rest of the albums you don't. Like, for example, Slayer. I mean, I liked like 3 records by them, so I'm going to put them in there. And I love the first fucking 3 Slayers, but 3 goddamn records, so you said 1. So yeah, put yours in there, goddamn it. It's probably wake me up and give me some ideas. Because I know there's without a doubt there's somebody the fuck else. I can't, like I said, drawing some goddamn blanks. But there definitely is others. So what are the devils? Anything else you got? Questions, comments, concerns? And I'll get an answer bright in the morning. Later, goddamn it.